Good evening, folks. Say good evening, folks. It's your bro, Rich here. Say good evening to you all. Today's video, today's video is now an extended video of the previous Cadillac, Fleetwood, I think. Yeah, Fleetwood. On the previous Cadillac Fleetwood video, and and today I'm continuing on from where I left off to from last time, which now is the turn of the powertrain details. Now, sorry if I didn't say in full detail. I just said powertrain in the last video, not powertrain details. It's because accidentally started recording, but yeah, I made a note of that of what to do next, but luckily I got it down. So yeah, today I'm continuing on to where I left. So today I'm continuing on to where I left. Today I'm continuing on to where I left off to. So yeah, so today I'm now on the next part, which is the powertrain, powertrain details. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I've been working all day, which was pretty good considering there was not much going on. But at least I got things done, so that's important. What is this? As long as I keep that up and get the job, I'm good. So yeah, before I continue for before I continue on from so so where I left off to, make sure you guys all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you let me know when I make brand new uploads. All right. Without any further ado, let's continue on. So the next part I'm on is so the next part I'm on so the next part I'm on is the powertrain details. So let's do it. So for 1993, so during the early 90s, the Fleetwood carried over uh, the 5.7 liter 350. So for 90 for 1990 for 1993, so for 1993, the early 90s, the Fleetwood carried over the 185 horsepower of 5.7 liter. So the Fleetwood carried over the 5.7 liter 350 185 horsepower V8 motor used by the 1990 to 1980 to so 1990s and so 1990 1992 so by the 1992 Cadillac Brougham, paired with a 4L60, a 4-speed automatic. So a 4-speed 4L60 auto. So paired with a 4-speed 4L60 auto. A year later for 94. So for 1990. So for 19. For 1994. For 1994. GM, so General Motors, upgraded its full size powertrains with both the D and the B body with both the D and B body cars. So with both the D body and B body cars receiving the mighty 5.7 liter 350 LT1 V8 motor, making 200, so the same exact engine that you would find in like most Corvettes. which apparently with those LT1 motors, they use a new motor block, cylinder head, timing cover, water pump, intake manifold, harmonic dampers, and accessory brackets. And some of them are interchangeable with Gen 1, with Gen 1 one-piece rear main steel motors, including some elements of the rotating assembly, such as like the crankshaft, pistons, con rods, or connecting rods if you want to call them, and flywheel slash flex plate. Flex plate. I never heard of something like that before, but oh well. And also the one-piece rear main seal housing, oil pan, valve cover gaskets, and some valve train assembly elements, which they don't include the timing set, which includes the gear to drive the water pump. Then the engine mount, both the motor mounts and the bell housing bolt pattern remain the same, permitting a newer motor to be readily swapped into an older car. But that was for like the early to late 90s, so from 92 to 97 with those Gen 2 GM small block V8 motors. So 4.3 liter 263, and then a 5.7 liter 350 V. So and then a 5.7 liter 350 V8 motor. So yeah. So where was I? So for 1994, GM upgraded its so for 1994, GM GM upgraded its full size powertrains with both the D and B body cars receiving a 5.7 liter 350 LT1 so 5.7 liter 350 Chevy LT1 V8 motor making 260 horsepower. So receiving a 5.7 liter 350 LT1, so a 5.7 liter 350 Chevy LT1 V8 motor making 260 horsepower, which 260 horsepower, which from a 5.7 is not too bad. I mean, like almost 300 horsepower, so it's pretty good. Not too bad. Paired with an electronically controlled 4L60E gearbox, so that I believe is a 4-speed. So it's a 4-speed automatic. I'm not sure what the E abbreviation stands for that gearbox. There's a difference between the 4L60 and the 4L60E. It's a 4L60 and 4L60E. I mean, they're kind of the same, just like one of them's an E. I'm not sure what it is. I think one of them's electronic or something? I got no idea. So anyways, guys, it was paired with an electronically controlled. So it was paired with an electronically controlled 4L60E 4-speed automatic. Shared with the C4 Corvette and the Camaro and the Pontiac Firebird. The LT1 motor used for full-size cars was detuned, so decreased in horsepower output, and fitted with cast iron cylinder heads. Now we got the motor, so we got two versions of the 5.7 liter 350 V. So we got we got two versions of the 5.7 liter 350 Chevy. So of the 5.7 liter 350 Chevy. So 5.7 liter 350 Chevy V8 motors. Starting off with the first one is the LO5, making 185 horsepower and 304 pound-feet, 412 newton meters of torque. And then we got the same motor, but the LT1 version of that, making a colossal 260 horsepower. So 75 horsepower more than what the LO5 had. 65 horsepower, nearly 70 horsepower more. Pretty good. Pretty good output. I mean, 260 horsepower is pretty damn good. So 260 horsepower and a mighty 330 pound-feet. So 330 pound-feet, 447 will run up to like 450 newton meters of torque. Pretty good. Next is the towing capability. I know sometimes it might not be interesting, but others would want to know what it might be, just in case if they would own a car like that, if they could drive fine one, because it's really hard to find these old cars anywhere, because they're like so rare nowadays. Like these days, these cars are so rare, barely anybody finds them around the world. And if it's even in good condition, also it depends on what the condition would be. Because for rare cars, the condition will be super pristine, like pure, proper, pristine condition. That would go for like the value on those cars with that good condition would go for tons and tons of cash. But cars for rough conditions, with like a little bit of rust patches and bubbled up paintwork and all that, they'll be a little bit cheaper than that. Depending on how much it would be, would also verify will like depend on the type of condition that the cars would be in. Anyways, next up, towing capability. I know sometimes people don't think it's interesting. Sometimes people don't think it's interesting, but we have to find out. Anyways, some people will find interesting what it might be. Anyways, so towing capability. While the previous gen Brougham, the front-wheel drive version, I think. So while the previous gen Brougham was offered with a factory designed towing pack, the optional for the 93 version underwent a major capability increase. So major capability increase. Major capability capability. So major capability increase. So major capability increase. So increase for the first time since the 76 60 special. A Caddy sedan. So a Cadillac sedan was a Cadillac sedan was factory rated to tow so a Cadillac sedan was factory rated to tow approximately dead on at 7,000 pounds. That's 3,200 kilos. Like wow. You guys are close to like 3,500 kilos, 3,500 kilos almost. Man, it's like the weight of a boat almost, or anything like that. That's boat territory. Boat weight, if you ask me. Yeah, boat weight, like the weight of a boat almost. It's just a saying. Just a saying. Anyways. Moving on. So, shared with the Roadmaster station wagon, or state if you want to call it, the RPO, regular production option. So the RPO V4P pack. So the RPO V4P pack included heavy duty coiling. We got the RPO V08, which consisted of a 7-blade mechanical primary fan, a heavy duty electrical secondary, so secondary fan, and an extra capacity radiator. RPO FE2s on the other hand, it's slightly a little bit different. So they have an RPO FE2 suspension system, so SSRH, suspension system ride handling, and the HD, say high definition 4L60 gearbox. They've got an RPO KC4 CSEO, cooling system engine oil, RPO KD1 cooling system, so CSTO cooling system transmission oil, RPO KG9 RPO KG9 140 amp alternator. So 140 amp alternator and an RPO GT4. That's right, GT4. Not as a Porsche GT4. That's got nothing to do with it. So RPO GT4 3.73 gears. So gear ratios with an 8.5-inch ring gear. In both 1994 up until 1996, the V4P pack V4P pack was revised with RPO GU6 3.42 gears with a new, more powerful version of the RPO LT1 260 horsepower V8, so 260 horsepower V8 motor, and HD 4L60E gearbox with revised accumulators to shift smoother, with the shorter rear axle, with the shorter rear axle, gearing. So rear axle gearing. Next, sales. Though more popular than Buick, Oldsmobile, and Chevy. So Buick, Oldsmobile, and Chevy full-size station wagons. The Fleetwoods, the lowest production 90s D body and B body, so D slash B body, so B body sedan. The model line largely struggled. So they mostly struggled in sales. Against both the Chrysler LHS and the Lincoln Town Car. The latter, more close. The latter more closely matching. So matching the sales of the DeVille. Speaking of which, something like that, we got the production figures. So we got the production figures next. So production figures next. So it's from 1983 to 1996. So it's up for like 4 years until 96, when I believe it finished production or something. I don't know. I got no idea. No clue. Anyway, so starting off with the first one is 1993. So in 1983, they sold the most amount. They sold 31,773. In 1994, they sold 27,473. So that is around 4,300 less than what 1983 would have sold. 4,300 difference there. I mean, it's not too bad, but still, it is a lot. Almost 4,500 cars. Not like not produced for that. Oh god, sorry about that. Like almost 4,500 slipped away or something, but oh well. In different years, they make the different amount of vehicles, the different amount of vehicles each year. So different amount of vehicles each year. So in 93 they sold 31,773. So 31,773 cars. So 31,770. So 31,773 cars. So 31,773 cars in 1993. So in 1993, in 1994, they sold they sold 20 they sold 27 so 27,473 of those cars. So 27,473 in 1995. In 1995, started a mid, so start like during the mid 90s. So the mid 19, so the mid 1990s, so the mid 1990s, so 19, so the middle of the 1990s. So in 1995, say 93, 31,773, and in 94, 27,473. In 1995, they sold 16. In 1995, they sold 16,180. Less than 17,000, less than 20,000 were done. So in 1995, they sold 16. So 1 6. Yeah, it sounds a bit confusing when it's like 16. It sounds like it's saying 60, but it's not. It happens mostly. It happens all the time. So in 1985, they sold 16,180 of those cars. So 16,180 of those cars back in 1995. And last but certainly not the very least, in 1996, they sold 15,109 of those cars. Total production 90,535. So over 90,000 cars sold. So total production 90. So total production 90,535. Next is the Triple C. So the Cadillac or Caddy commercial chassis. In its return to the D in its return to the D in its return to the D body. So in its return to the D body. So in its return to the D body. So in its return to the D body, the Fleetwood again. The Fleetwood again supported the commercial chassis. An incomplete car, so an unfinished car designed primarily for both limousines, so both limos and funeral coaches. Funeral coaches. Some people call it hearses, but funeral coaches would be like how can I say this? But a bit more of an easier way to say it. So designed primarily for both limos and funeral coaches. For both limos and funeral coaches. The variants differed from the standard Fleetwood from the standard Fleetwood from the standard Fleetwood design, not design, standard Fleetwood sedan as ABS, so anti-lock brakes, traction control, so anti-lock brakes, traction anti-lock brakes, traction control, and so anti-lock brakes, traction control, and dual front airbags, well, twin front airbags, as you want to call it if it was easier, were not standard features. Following the discontinuation of the Fleetwood, following the discontinuation of the Fleetwood as the final full-frame Caddy sedan, Cadillac Cadillac continued to supply to DeVille. So they continued to supply the DeVille and the product lines that replaced it chassis to funeral coach, so to FCMs, so funeral coach manufacturers through second party conversion. As of current production, the only body on frame caddies produced since the 96 Fleetwood are the Escalade ESV, so standard Escalade ESV, and Escalade. So the Escalade, so the only the only body on frame caddies produced since the 96 Fleetwood are the standard Escalade, the Escalade standard, original, Escalade, Escalade ESV, and so Escalade ESV, Escalade ESV, and Escalade EX, and Escalade EXT. So Escalade EXT. Last but certainly not, the very least, we got is the final version, the PSC, the presidential state car. So the presidential state car. So the presidential state car in 1993. So let's finish this. So let's see what we got. In 1993, during the early 90s, after American politician and lawyer who was the 42nd president of the United States, so 42nd president of the US from 93 to 01, so President Bill Clinton took office. So took office. A then brand new 93 Fleetwood would be his state car that he would use his term until 2001, the year the first Fast and Furious movie was out. Following a long tradition of Lincoln-based sedans, this was only the second caddy, so the second caddy since the 83 Fleetwood, built for the Ronald Reagan administration. Born February 6th, 1911, passed away June 5th, 2004. May rest in peace, Ronald Reagan. Full name was Ronald Wilson Reagan. So he was born February 6th, 1911, in the village of Tampico, in Tampico Township, in Whiteside County, Illinois, next to both Rock Falls and Sterling, Illinois. So he was born February 6th, 1911. So February 6th, 1911, in Tampico, Illinois. Ronald Reagan, or Ronald Reagan, passed away June 5th, 2004, age, so passed away June 5th, 2004, age 93, in Los Angeles, California. May rest in peace. So, for those who don't know how he passed away, like what was the cause of it, I got it right here. Most of it, like when American, like most car designers and all that, when they pass away, doesn't usually show like how it happened or like what happened. But sometimes it does. It depends on like what the topic would be. So he passed away from pneumonia complicated by Alzheimer's at his home in L.A. on June 5th. So at his home in L.A. on June 5th, 2004, President 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 George Walker Bush, born July 6th. So July 6th, 1946, age 79, almost 80, in the city of New Haven, Connecticut, located on New Haven Harbor on the northern shore of Long Island South. No, South. Long Island Sound. Long Island Sound. There we go. Sorry about that. So born in New Haven, Connecticut, age 79, born July 6th, 1946. So July 6th, 1946, George Bush. So for those who don't know who he is, he's both an American politician and businessman who was the 43rd president of the U.S. from 2001 to 2009, a member of the Bush family, both the Bush family and the Republican Party. He's the eldest son of the 41st president, which is George H.W. Bush. George Herbert Walker Bush. Born June 12th, 1920, June 12th, 1924, in the town of Milton, Norfolk County, Massachusetts. Passed away at age 94 on November 30th, 2018, in Houston, Texas. And that would be at that time the 5th anniversary of Paul Walker's passing. May rest in peace. He died that same month and day, but back in 2013. So both Paul Walker So both Paul and George passed away the exact same day and month, but with a 5-year difference. Paul being 2013 and George 2018. So with Paul being 2013 and George 2018. So there's a difference there. If it's getting a bit confusing, I briefly apologize. Says from Ronald Reagan's passing. So he passed away from pneumonia, complicated by Alzheimer's, at his home in L.A. on June 5th, 2004. President George W. Bush called Reagan's death a sad hour in the life of America. So a sad hour in the life of America. His public funeral was held in the Washington National Cathedral, WNC, where eulogies were given by Margaret Thatcher, Brian A little bit closer. Alright, so we're given by Margaret Thatcher, Brian. So Margaret Thatcher, Brian Mulroney. Mulroney. His last name is spelled M U. So last name is spelled Mulroney. Then we got George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush himself. Other world leaders attending. Well, other world leaders attended, including both Mikhail Gorbachev. So Mikhail Gorbachev. So his full name was Mikhail Sergeyevich Gorbachev, born March 2nd, 1931. So March 2nd, 1931, in Privolnoye. So in Privolnoye. In Privolnoye, a rural locality in Krasnogvard in Krasnogvardeyski district of in Stavropol Krai in Russia, located on the Yegorlik River. The census during 2002 were 3,491. That's the most amount, but in 2010 were decreased by 3,350 people. So that was a total of 141 people deceased from that moment on. From a different, there's a difference in those 8 years. So he was born March 2nd, 1931, in Privolnoye, in North Caucasus Krai, and the Russian SFSR, Soviet Union. Passed away August 30th, 2022, age 91. So he passed away August 30th, 2022, age 91. So age 91, in the Russia's capital, Moscow, or Moskva, as they call it. He passed away at this CCH Central Clinical Hospital in Russia's capital, Moscow, or Moskva, as they call it, on August 30th, 2022, at the age of 91. He died after a severe and prolonged illness. He had suffered from both severe diabetes and underwent both several surgeries and hospital stays. He was also hospitalized in the CCH Central Clinical Hospital on October 9th, 2014, almost a year after Paul Walker passed away. May rest in peace. His funeral was held on September 3rd, 2022, and that would be 9 days before Paul Walker's 49th birthday. That would also mark the 9-year anniversary of his passing. So on September 3rd, 2022, in the column hall of the House of Unions, the ceremony who's about to be dead. Just a 1% of that. 1%, thank God. So his funeral was held on September 3rd, 2022. So he was also hospitalized in the Central Clinical Hospital. So CCH on October 9th, 2014. His funeral was held on September 3rd, 2022. September 3rd, 2022. That would be 9 days before. So 9 days before. So 9 days before Paul Walker's 49th birthday. And it would also nearly mark his 9-year anniversary of his passing. Sorry for mixing this up, because I'm so tired right now. Because work today just killed me. So yeah, September 3rd, 2022, in the Column Hall of the House of Unions. The ceremony included a honor guard, but was not a state funeral. The service included rites administered by the Russian Orthodox by a Russian Orthodox by a Russian Orthodox by a Russian Orthodox I can't even talk by a Russian Orthodox by a Russian Orthodox by a Russian Orthodox by a Russian Orthodox I can't talk by a Russian Orthodox priest. There we go. It's a Russian Orthodox priest. He's buried at Moscow's Novodevichy cemetery in the same grave as his wife Raisa, Raisa, as requested by his will. There it is. Okay. So, God. So, other world leaders attended, including both Mikhail Gorbachev, may rest in peace, and Lech. Oh, Christ, how do I say this? And, Lech. How the heck do I say this? What? Hold on. How do you say it? Lech Walesa, something like that. It was born September 29th, 1943. He's a Polish statesman, dissident, and NPP, so Nobel Peace Prize laureate. I can't pronounce it, but it spells Laur, who served as the president of Poland between 1990 and 1995. So for 5 years he served on the same exact day for both those years, December 22nd. So December 22nd from both 1990 to 1995. Anyways, back to the Cadillac. So in 1983, so on a presidential state car, or the PSC, from 1983. So in 93, after President Bill Clinton, full name was William Jefferson Clinton, so born August 19th, 1946, So Blythe William Jefferson Blythe III, age 78. He was born August 19th, 1946, in it was in the city of Hope in Hampstead County in southwestern Arkansas. So, so in 1993, after President Bill Clinton took office, and then brand new 93 Fleetwood, 93 Fleetwood. So Fleetwood would be his stake. Then brand new 93 Fleetwood would be his state car that he would use throughout his term until 2001. It started in the very early 2000s, following a long tradition of Lincoln-based sedans. This was only the second caddy since the '83 Fleetwood, built for the Ronald Reagan administration. So I can't talk. Built for the Ronald Reagan administration. So administration, along with advanced both advanced security and safety features. The limo featured communication devices such as phones, satellite satellite communications, and the internet. So yeah, internet. After Clinton, after Bill left office, the car eventually was displayed at the CPC, so the Clinton Presidential Center in where's it located? In the capital and most populous city of Little Rock, in downtown Little Rock, Arkansas. Say Arkansas. To prevent um to prevent to prevent third party um to prevent third parties from learning classified from to prevent third party third party to prevent third parties excuse me, to prevent third parties from to prevent third parties from leaning not leaning sorry from not leaning sorry from learning classified details about both the protection and the safety features of the car. The SS, so the Secret Service, keep so the Secret Service keeps the doors secured at all times. Excuse me. This Fleetwood. Sorry, I'm almost done. Got only the last few pieces left, and boom, we'll be done. This Fleetwood, um, would also prove to be the last presidential, the last, the last, so, will prove to be the last presidential, the last presidential car derived from a regular production passenger car. The production 2001 Cadillac. I was gonna say Caddy. DeVille, built specifically for George Bush. Was not regarded. So wasn't regarded as suitable for conversion. So the final car was constructed. So was con- was con- so the final car was constructed using the chassis, uh, using both the chassis and using both the chassis and powertrain. Chassis and powertrain of a chassis and powertrain of a heavy duty GM, so General Motors SUV, using little more than both just the front and rear, using a little more than just both the front and rear bodywork. So both the front and rear bodywork, of the DeVille, of the DeVille. All right, finally all done. Thank God it's over for this version, for this car. Thank God. So the Cadillac Fleetwood is finally complete. Wow. Just wow. I did not expect that to happen. Oh my god, like honestly, like I didn't expect that to happen. Like wow. Just wow. Unbelievable. Like oh my god, this is crazy. Whew. Alright. 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 There we go, a little bit there. Alright. So that is officially it for the Cadillac, for the mighty Cadillac Fleetwood. And so yeah, that is officially it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. So comment down. So if you like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you know to make brand new uploads. Okay, so considering that I'm working, how I'm gonna do the videos is basically during like the evenings on the weekends. So on Friday and Saturday, I will be doing it on the evenings. Not sure about Sunday, cause I will be I have to wake up early for Monday, cause I gotta work. I start work very early in the morning. I start like around 7, 8 or something like that. I don't know, but either one of those will work. Either one of those just happened, but oh well, it happens always. I mean, I can't do nothing about that, but what can I do? What can I do? Anyways, guys, so that'll be it for my next video. I don't know exactly what to do, but I'll figure it out at some point. Okay, so that is it. Time is now, what was that, 12? Maybe, I don't know, but I'm gonna look. Whew, thank God it's not 12. Well, 11:30, but, oh, Jesus Christ. Shoot, spider crawling on God, Lord. Anyways, guys, so yeah, that's gonna end the video for tonight. So if you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification, notification bell, and hit all. See you later. I want to make brain uploads. Okay, so that'll be it. I gotta go to sleep. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe. Have a great evening, and also have a great day tomorrow morning. And also have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care, folks. So yeah, take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So yeah, take care, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon. Good night.